Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to this live stream for you all, where we're going to be going over into the Bitcoin charts. Here we are on a Friday evening. I hope we've got people around for this. I know the Euros are on. We got two camps of people right now, right? You got the Euro fans, the soccer football fans, and then you got the Elden Ring DLC drop. So you got all the video game fans as well. So I hope people are able to make some time for this stream today. I want to keep it fairly short. There's not too much to cover. I actually just got out of a Champions live stream where we done some live trading. I actually took a trade live on stream during that. So this was about 2 hours ago now. And the trade I am actually still in. This is in now around $630 of profit. So yeah, this is a long trade on Bitcoin that I took during a Champions stream about 1.5, 2 hours ago. So yeah, that trade is still ongoing. So if you are a Champion member coming back, then we're still in this trade. If you are just from the public, then I'll explain this trade, what I'm looking for, what we're expecting, and all of that good stuff. So yeah, welcome everybody. And you can see the title of this video. I just want to say the title of this video is Bitcoin is at major support. Is it time to pump? And this is not a clickbait. This is not a clickbait. We are at massively important support. Okay, so I actually want to start off by, let me just delete some of this TA and bring it back to new. So let's start off by just explaining, like, why is this such a big level of importance? Really simply, we are at the range value area low. So this is the range that we've been trading in for the past few months now. We have finally tapped that value area low of the range. So for me, that is a significant level, right? Just as the range point of control, you can see how, look at this massive resistance drop down for a failed auction of our range low. From failed auction back up to value area high. You can see historically as well, right? Rejection of value area high, rejection of value area high. Point of control, value area high, point of control, value area high, point of control support, point of control flipped into resistance, back down to value area low. So, I mean, these value areas are just extremely strong levels, okay? They hold down the market as resistance, and now we're looking for it to hold the market up as support, okay? And again, this is just what I call a very important level. Why? Because if we lose this level, that is where we will start to be looking for a much bigger move to the downside. So I was talking through the champions on this in the live stream, but I will just show everybody here on the public. What we actually saw at the lows that we're at right now is a lot of new positions opening. You can see the open interest is really increasing massively. This was to the long side. So yeah, I'm not saying this is like either bullish nor bearish at the moment, but it's just something to pay attention to, that this is clearly a massive level. Okay, really, really, really massive level in terms of the importance of the level, and you know, the volume is coming in at that. So it's not just us saying, okay, this is a big level, and then you know, not giving any reasoning. There's a technical reason behind it being a big level, but also there is a lot of new volume, new orders coming in at this level, and it is primarily from the bulls to hold up the support. So yeah, we'll see how this progresses, but this is the long trade I'm in. This is for a $152,000 long trade that I'm in right now. So that's about 2.4 Bitcoin. And this is on ×3 leverage currently. Yeah, currently trade is in $700 of profit. This is in about 2 hours, just under, of time being in the long right now. So just so you get an understanding of this trade, yeah, the reasonings behind it, and really what we can be looking at next. So as always, I'll keep engaged with the people over in the comment section. Hope you are all doing well. We have Phil here saying, hey Daniel, much love from Germany. What is your advice to overcome? This is a good question. Let's start off with some good questions. So shout out to Germany. I know we got a few different Germans in here. So yeah, shout out to Germany hosting the Euros, doing the country proud. What a way to start your Euros, by the way. 2 games, 2 wins. Winning in the football, you're going to win in the trades too, right? So yeah, good question. And it is, how do you overcome analysis paralysis? Not just in trading, but life in general. Thank you. Thank you, Phil, for a good question. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'll start off with trading first. Okay, so when it comes to trading, how would you overcome this analysis paralysis? Okay, and I would say it really comes down to having a well-defined strategy. So it's very easy to get analysis paralysis, which, if you don't know, by the way, just means you have too much technical analysis. Let me come over and say hello to you all. There we go. Look at this. Basically, analysis paralysis is where you have too many levels on your chart, too many technical indicators, and you're just like, what on earth am I looking at right now? I have 100 levels on my charts. I have Elliott waves telling me it's going up. I have value areas telling me it's going down. I got my moving averages, one as support, one as resistance. I got the Ikemuchu cloud telling me it's bullish. I got the VWAP telling me it's bearish. And you are just confused because you've got on everything that you've learnt and you have no strategy behind it. And that is what I feel is the number one case of analysis paralysis in trading. People just are using everything that they've learned about and they have no actual strategy behind it. You know, when you look at my charts, you will see they're very clean. My analysis is very simple. Okay, I've said this once and I'll say it again, right? I'm not classing myself ever as some ultra intelligent person. I'm just a total normal guy. I don't want things to be confusing. I want to understand really simply the chart, understand really simply the probabilities that I have of that, and then equaling that into a strategy, right, where I have an option of long or short. I just want to know in each section of the chart, is this a high probability long? Yes or no? Is this a high probability short? Yes or no? And so I'm not using every indicator under the sun. Okay, I've taught nearly every indicator under the sun. But you can see when it comes to my analysis and the way I'm taking my trades, I do keep it very simple. Okay, of course, there are times where I need to expand upon my analysis and go in depth. But the majority of the time, the majority of my trades, I do like to keep them simple. I like to wait for a high probability trade setup. Okay, and that's where the work comes in, finding those high probability trade setups. And then as soon as I got that, I just want the entry trigger. I want a know the entry trigger and the stop loss invalidation of where I'm wrong. And at that point, I'm so happy because I can have my trade. I can have my trade, look at the take profits. But, you know, where I'm going with this is I of course, have my strategy on lockdown. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And so I can have it very simplified, that process, because I know, well, period, exactly what I'm looking for, right? But if you are still on the beginner intermediate stages, you might not have that strategy on lockdown yet. Thus, you are going to get analysis paralysis. So the way that you can start to overcome this, right, is by just working on that strategy. Okay, so this could be, for example, CC Fibonacci retracement on a value area low. Okay, and it could be as simple as that. Okay, you then look for your intraday entry trigger based off the order flow. You then have 3 levels of confluence. Okay, the order flow lining up on your confluence levels, you take the trade. So your strategy does not need to be complex, difficult, confusing. It can be simple as long as you are able to journal this, understand the reasons of entry, thus be able to journal, run statistics. You are going to have confidence in your trade. You are going to know what you're trading, thus not have analysis paralysis. So yeah, that's really what I would say in terms and regards to that question. Good question, and is very common, by the way. So if you are struggling with analysis paralysis, know you are in the boat of many, many, many new traders. I myself went through this process. Every trader that you see that is successful will have gone through this process. So it's natural, it's normal. And it's just one of those time and experience things that it will come with time. You will have and work out what strategy works best for you based on the amount of time you have, based on the type of trader that you have. You know, these are things that everybody and every individual is different, right? And yeah, that's basically how you'd overcome it. In terms of real life, how do I overcome analysis paralysis? I think I would say this comes down to just being confident in my decisions. So I am a guy, I'm not gonna lie, that researches heavily everything that I do. Um, so I do spend a lot of time on research. Um, but I wouldn't say that's analysis paralysis. I just like to make very informed decisions. Even if it's whatever it is in life, I'm very much looking at making informed decisions. And so I want to really study what I'm going to buy, what I'm going to do, and this is something that I've had since as long as I can remember. Right before I had money, now I have money, and I know you can obviously reach a point in life where you know you can reach this point where you can essentially just view things like, hey, I can afford this. Like, who cares? I'm just going to buy it. Um, and I've never gone through this. I'm even now, having more money than I can ever need in my life. I'm still very much like informed thinking. I would never waste money or throw away money. I'm very um I like to do my research. I like to know what I'm getting involved in, whether it's an investment, whether it's an opportunity, whatever it is. I do a lot of research into everything that I do. I think that's just a good way to live life. But how would I say avoiding extreme research versus analysis paralysis? I suppose it just comes down to that focus goal at the end of the day. So if I want to buy, um, I'm not a guy that buys a lot of stuff. I'll be honest with you. I kind of live a very simple life, but let's say I was looking. One thing I do obviously invest in heavily is real estate, right? So I must admit I'm less I look for very simple things when it comes to real estate. I say, hey, what's the yield going to be on this house? Is it more than 5%? Hey, let's buy it, type of thing. But I'm doing basic research into it. But how would I avoid that into becoming over analysis paralysis? Well, I know my goal at the end of the day. I know I want a 5% yield on this house. I want it to rent 365 days of the year. um I'm not going to get going down lots of different alleyways when looking to invest in something, because I know what I need to find out. Right, I have that goal, I have that focus. The experience, of course, it helps in that regard. But yeah, I think you can get lost in analysis paralysis in real life, maybe if you don't really have the goal, or no, so you don't have an end goal, and then you can just get lost in the waves of too much information. Whereas if you know exactly what you're looking to do, you're not going to get lost, or you would hopefully not get lost in that information. So yeah, good first question. Let's see if we can hit this into $1,000 of unrealized profit during this stream. Um, so yes, good note there from the Real Fuzz Supreme. What a name! What a name, my friend. I noticed a massive increase of volume and open interest on EXO at the very lows a few hours ago, and you are absolutely right. This is what we were looking at during the live stream with the champions just before I started this stream in this one here. And that is, yeah, we saw a massive open interest increase, and this is what I find extremely interesting: the dynamics of the market since the ETF and the dynamics of the market like a year ago. A year ago, I was saying like 100%, we take the lows. There's no thoughts about it. This is going to happen. Oh, 6 months later, and here since the ETF, that is no longer the case. Like, you would never have seen me taking this long trade a year ago. This would never have happened. Okay, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years ago, this previously I would never have taken this type of trade. But over the past 6 months, there has been a major ETF decision on Bitcoin, and the dynamic of the market has greatly shifted. Okay, so we're no longer going for swing failure pattern type trades. Okay, we're actually looking more at these slight front runs, these more rounded bottom type trades, these double bottom trades. This is something that I would have laughed at 5 years ago. You would have seen me come on stream and laugh at the people taking the trade that I'm taking today. I mean, like, this is a ridiculous trade. We're definitely going down. But now the markets have changed. The dynamic has changed. Again, this is something that I think you can appreciate, right? If I was a trader stuck in my ways, what I right now would be missing out on this $800 of profit that I've made in 2 hours, right? So by able to accept the strategies we were using 1 year ago need to be updated. We need to be on top of the market. We need to be recording new statistics, right? If you remember, the statistics that I'm looking very much at recently. And so if I was oblivious to this, if I just was stuck in my ways, if I wasn't trying to improve, educate myself, learn with the market, if the market's moving on, I need to be ahead of the curve. I need to be getting in on these patterns before everybody else starts to recognize them, right? And so Yeah, the open interest at the low was very important. Historically, 100%, I'd be like, yeah, that's getting stopped out. Whereas this new market dynamic, we are seeing these more rounded bottoms for the rally. So that is something great spot, by the way, because not everybody would even be able to spot that. So first of all, good spot, and I think using it with the context of the market recently is very, very important. I am actually only looking for a rally to short, by the way. This isn't me thinking the low is in. I do not think, oh, this is the low in. I've got a swing trade here. No, I'm actually just looking for a rally to the upside, take profits on the long, enter a short trade, trade it back down. So that is my game plan. You now know this. So yeah, this is more of a day trade. If I can lock in a few $1,000s today, I'll be happy with that. And look for a new trade, because ultimately I do think we head back down below these lows. But if we rally from here, hey, it is what it is, right? I'm just trading my probabilities and what I have based on my statistics. Zero to Hero says, can I show my fixed range value settings? Absolutely, I can. That's 570. Okay. So there you go, my friends. Hope that helps. Oh, wow. We are getting a lot of comments. We must have had an uptick in viewership. Hello, everybody just tuning in right now. Hope that you are well. Nice to see everybody tuning in for the Friday night stream. I'm trying to go through some nice comments. We have shout out to him of the absolute legend. He took the same trade as me, so I saw his comment during the stream. He got the same entry as me, and he has actually just locked in take profit 1 at the VWAP. So yeah, shout out to Mupf. He is a very good trader, member of the Chart Champions community, giving some amazing altcoin setups. And he took the same trade as me, and he has just locked in take profit 1. So if you want to play more cautiously, we have just then hit into the VWAP, and not a bad time to lock in a take profit 1, right? So he had the same entry as me, and he has just locked in TP1 here at the VWAP. Okay, so that's something for you all to be aware of. VWAP is a nice intraday resistance. Okay, you can see how earlier we put in a low, rally to the VWAP, made a swing failure pattern of the low. So VWAP has already held us down very, very nicely one time today. It'll be the third touch of the VWAP. So yeah, VWAP, very important level. Thanks for answering. You are more than welcome, Phil. Oh, a few questions here. I'm taking a lot of losses. I'm trying to take high probability trades like you. Any advice? Any simple day trading strategies? So I would say the most simple day trading strategy. I would say my favorite day trading strategy would be the value area rotation strategy, where you are simply rotating between value area low, value area high, value area low, value area high. You do want to make sure you're on a ranging day, right? So you obviously have different day types. So if you are on I would say my two favorite strategies, when we're on a ranging day, simply the trading the value areas. Okay, and if we are on an uptrending day, so you've got a trend day, and that has to be you have to be able to recognize a trend day. But when we're on a trend day, simply looking at CC retracements on VWAP, that is like such a powerful strategy. That strategy hasn't really been working for the past like 3 months, because we haven't had many trending days over the past 3 months. But I do like that strategy when we are trending, okay, and you are going with a strong trend, and I'm referring to only Bitcoin, by the way. So I would say like CC retracements on VWAP on trending days, value area rotations on range days. That is harder though, by the way. So your range days, I find them easier, but many beginners will fall up on that, because you can't just trade value area low, value area high with no confluence. You do need to see some confluence. But if you're good at trading like harmonics, okay, that is where you find like the best harmonic trades. So let's say you have the value area low and value area high, you put in your pivot 1, pivot 2, And then basically you start to form your harmonics, right, using the overall high and low pivots, where you'll come down for the higher lows and higher highs. So I must admit, yeah, ranging, value area rotations, add in with the harmonics for the confluence would be my go-to strategy, I would say. But yes, that is what I would be in terms of my go-to strategy. Okay. Um, but I would also recommend that we just hit $1,000. Yay. $1,000 in 2 hours of trading. That's how you do it, CC Pool Star. But I would also really recommend, to be honest, the CCTR strategy. So if you are a member of Chart Champions, you can come over here, come into the search bar, CCTR, and come down to this lesson here, the CCTR strategy. This is the video that I really recommend. It's an hour long, so you're going to have to really watch it. But this is a very, very, very nice strategy that I would recommend to most people. It's kind of more simple, well-defined. You know, there's strict rules. My trading is less strict rules, whereas the CCTR, you have very, very, very strict rules, right? So this is a really good strategy to at least start off with, because you know exactly what you're doing. There's no ifs or maybes, confluence. You know exactly. There's strict rules. You know exactly what you're doing. So watch the CCTR strategy if you haven't already. And this is an advanced strategy that we teach, right? But I would still recommend it to be that intermediates that are looking to actually use a strategy for day trading, because it's got very strict rules, basically. Next question. I've heard the advice for new people to stick to spot 4 hour and not go lower until getting more experience. What do you think about it? So question here. This is one that I actually find very interesting, by the way, because when I think about it, do I recommend a newer trader to be a swing trader? My initial thoughts is yes. Like, I do think swing trading is easier. Swing trading, period, in my opinion, is easier. But then at the same time, there's the counter argument of, as a new trader, if you want to be learning, you do need to be taking a lot of trades. Like, experience is key, right? The more trades you take, the more experience you have, the more you're going to learn. So I get the part of where it's like the counter argument is, as a newer trader, you should be a scalp trader because you need experience and you need to take trades. So it's difficult because I know swing trading is easier. But then a newer trader, to learn, they need to be taking a lot of trades. I did, spend so many years as a massively lower term time frame scalp trader, and that, of course, it helped me learn to be the trader I am today. So it's difficult. I wouldn't really say I would recommend people to be 4 hour charts, not go any lower. I think as a trader, you need to be able to trade both time frames. You need to be able to trade lower term time frame and higher term time frame. And I do definitely see the counter argument of, if you are a newer trader, you simply need experience, and you're not going to get experience taking, one trade a week on the 4 hour term time frame. Whereas if you're down on the 5-minute chart and you're taking 10 trades a day, you're going to learn quicker taking 10 trades a day versus 1 trade a week. It's as simple as that at the end of the day. So yeah, I think it'd be nice to have a mixture, to be honest. And this trade's still going well. We're in $1,090 profit. I'm going to be looking for the highs here. Okay. For the next take profits. So I didn't go for the VWAP. And I did mention this during the champion stream that I just done. I wasn't going to lock in a take profit at the VWAP this time because this is the third test of the VWAP for me. Didn't want to lock in my take profit there. Not to say you shouldn't or it's bad. And again, I'm not giving financial advice, right? We got a nice little no financial advice disclaimer. But yeah, that's why I personally didn't take profit at the VWAP, because it's already 3 tests today. This is a really good question. And we are still monitoring this. We're still keeping our eye on the trade, see if there's any signs of weakness. I need to close early, but for now, honestly, everything is looking good for continuation. I have no reason to close this trade yet, so we'll see if this can go to $2,000 of profit. Um, but nice question here while we are keeping our eye on the charts, and that is, how can you understand when you have to change your trading strategy and how long do you want to back test it for? Okay, I will use the most recent example of the front runs because, well, that is my most recent strategy change. um, it all starts from recognizing patterns, and this is where you need to have screen time. I could not be the trader or educated teacher that I am today if I was not looking at the charts every single day. Yeah, my life is trading. I am all day, every single day on the charts, looking at the charts. So I am very, very good at recognizing when something is changing. So for the past 15 years, right? Swing failure pattern, swing failure pattern, swing failure pattern, swing failure pattern. Okay, if you've been in the community for the past few years, you know swing failure pattern is like the number one strategy that I love. I love SFP trades. They are just perfect. Well, guess what? Over the past 6 months, how many good swing failure pattern trades have there been? A handful. There have been much less. They suck in comparison to what they used to be. So through recognizing from just simply trading every day, well, swing failure patterns are no longer the go-to trades. It's from recognizing, well, my strategy is not working. What is the reason of this? Working out the reason, and then gathering statistics of the new pattern, and that is right now front runs. So, you have a level, you expect a swing failure pattern, it doesn't swing failure pattern, you get a front run, you get a rally. This is the exact reason I entered in this long trade today. Again, 1 year ago, 5 years ago, I would not have entered this long. This would not have been a long I would have ever have taken. I took it today based off of this new statistic and strategy that I have found. And here we are, 2 hours of 2-hour trade, $1,100 profit. If I was unable to recognize this new trend, I would not have taken this trade, period. And I wouldn't have taken this trade a year ago. But from just simply trading, being here every day, recognizing a new market dynamic, well, I'm ahead of the curve and I am making profits from being ahead of the curve. It's as simple as that. You got to be ahead of the game. You got to not be lazy. If you're a lazy trader, you're waiting on other people, you're going to miss out on this type of information. And now I've made it public, you could probably bet you're going to start to see a lot more people talking about this now. But I haven't gone in too depth. But nevertheless, I know a lot of people listen to what I say. Let's just say that. And nevertheless, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people now trading this. But yeah, it's been working for the past 6 months. And it's a real big pattern that really came to fruition over the past 2 months, right? So, but yeah, I think in terms of recognizing, it is simply from trading every day. Just being at the charts, recognizing what your strategy is. And then when you know what your strategy is, you can recognizing when it's not working anymore. And then when it's not working anymore, which is normal, you have to then recognize why isn't this working and what is working then. Okay. So it's like a little process that you go through. And yeah, that's basically the process that I go through. Crazy potato. These guys use names, man. I love them. You won't hear from me till I'm done with the course material. Thank you. I think that is a good strategy in itself. Just focus on your journey, focus on educating yourself first and foremost. Of course, that should be your priority. And I agree with that. I was actually going to talk about this anyway, but in terms of what are my thoughts on Nvidia, I think I got, yeah, you all know me by now, I hope. Nvidia for me is a crazy stock that just makes so much profits. But this was a nice comment from somebody that longed Nvidia. Yeah, people making mad bank off of these calls, but non-financial advice. But Nvidia is something that is very special to my heart. If you don't know, I've been actually investing in Nvidia since $3. Since $3 Nvidia. Okay, Nvidia, it does not going to sound too impressive because we just had a stock split, right? Nvidia now trading at $126. But let me tell you, Nvidia 2 weeks ago was trading at $1,000. So I took it from $3 to $1,000, you know, the percentage you can imagine. But yeah, this is one that's very close to my heart. I was a pretty early investor, let's say, in Nvidia. Do I think this is massively overextended at this point? Yes. Do I think this is going to get a large pullback? Yes. But there's no reason to think that this is going to happen tomorrow. Okay, you need to see some lower term time frame weakness, which has just not happened now for years, right? This is just a very nice uptrending coin. Well, not coin. It's not a nice uptrending stock. Will Nvidia have a retracement? Yes. Do I think it's overbought or overshilled right now? Yes. Would it be my go-to stock of wanting to buy now? No. This is one that I would no longer be thinking, oh yeah, I want to keep pumping money into Nvidia. Doesn't mean I would close my longs. My longs are from much lower, but I would be starting to get a bit cautious. It does feel like it's just become, everybody I speak to in real life, even people that aren't traders, are like, yeah, I bought Nvidia. I'm like, man, like I was telling you to buy this 10 years ago. But yeah, most people that I know bought it like 2 weeks ago. It's like, okay, this is a kind of a worrying sign to say. But yeah, my thoughts on Nvidia ultimately are massively bullish, of course. How could I not be? But due a correction, let's just say that it is due a correction. I would like a bigger correction, to be fair, because I do think people are getting a little bit greedy on Nvidia. Hey, it makes me more profits at the end of the day, so I'm not going to complain about it. But I would like or think it's due a bigger correction, to be fair. Well, we have a lot of comments coming in. This is crazy. I have 1,000 viewers. Hello, 1,000 viewers on X. Wow, X is the biggest stream right now. Hello, everybody over on X, by the way. Yeah, quick update on Jasmy. If you've been following along on the Jasmy trade, I've done a live stream a few days ago on YouTube, and of course, for the members, you were in even more before. But the Jasmy trade, short trade that I gave, of course, still going well, and I just give all of this thanks to Elliott waves. So truly, Elliott waves were the way that I managed to predict this high on Jasmy, because I see some people commenting Jasmy as well. Really simply, Elliott waves were how I predicted this high to be in. And how I predicted this would be a good short trade back on Sunday in the Champions live stream. Really simply, we came up to major Fibonacci extensions. It was clear that this was the wave 5 when you also compared it to the length of wave 1. It just felt like it was the right time to short. Again, this is just recently saw a 1,600% rise to the upside. You know how careful you have to be on shorting this? So there was care, there was a plan. And now that plan is given a 25% drop to the downside. Truly, simply based off of Fibonacci and Elliott waves. Fibonacci Elliott waves, godsend, best tool in the world for predicting major highs and lows. Literally, this was all because of that. So yeah, I'm not going to lie. I enjoy Elliott waves. But yeah, Jasmy, for me, I would still like to see further to the downside. You can see at the moment, we're finding support at the top of wave 3. So top of wave 3 currently, just a wick down through it. Could get continuation. If we start to close below wave 3, of course, I'm looking back down towards this major weekly level. If we hold the top of the wave 3 and Bitcoin rallies, well, of course, that's going to be positive for another retest of the monthly. But so far anyway, yeah, from entry, 25% move basically to the downside. Major support in terms of importance, because if we lose that, it invalidates all bullishness. Look down towards the weekly point of control as next level of support. But yeah, Jasmy, yeah, we finally took the short on that, and it did go very well. Important to keep your eye on Bitcoin for sure. Top of the wave 3, if we get acceptance, big weakness. While we hold the top of the wave 3, you do have the scalp long trade opportunities that could result in a bigger swing trade, of course. So yeah, that's something to keep your eye on Jasmy. I'm getting a lot of people saying, look at Trump media. I'm not going to look at Trump Media Coin, but yeah, apparently I should look at Trump Media Coin, or Trump Media, but yeah. Can you please explain how you define rejection from an area of interest? Is it one wick area of interest or two or more? So I really honestly like to use order flow. I like to use, of course, the candles themselves. And I would generally, when I'm just trying to keep it simple, say stick to a 30-minute time frame. Okay, on your 30-minute time frame, do you see a wick? Yes or no? If you do, you can say there's a rejection. Of course, I wouldn't ever keep it that simple for myself, but you could keep it that simple. Let's say I like to really confirm things with order flow. So this is where I'm coming into the order flow software on lower term timeframes. I'm looking at things like literally like this, the order flow, looking at the amount of open interest, right? I have, of course, my desktop templates where we're looking at trade counts, rec candles, the delta, okay, the time of the candles. So we're really looking in closely at the volume to make those informed decisions. So yeah, I would say simply put 30-minute chart for day traders, but I would have to say back it up with order flow. Like personally, 100% has to be backed up with order flow. So I would say, yeah, the area of interest, 30-minute time frame wicks, but I would definitely be saying you have to back it up with the order flow. Lee Summers, I am certainly the trader I am today because of Daniel's teachings. For all the newer traders tuning in, listen to this guy and study hard. I've known him for 5 years and he is a man of integrity. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate it. I actually met Lee, and yeah, this is a good guy. He's come to some Chart Champions meetups, and yeah, Lee's also a very successful trader now. So that is nice to see, and just goes to show. This is what I always think. Like we have like core members of the Chart Champions community, and you can see the people that do stick around, that do put in the time and the effort, they are ending successful traders. You know, the people that come in for a few months and mess around and troll, they leave and you never hear from them again. Guess what? Like people that just troll and mess around and waste their time, guess what? They're not going to be posting P&L shorts. The people that actually come in, study, listen, learn, really push themselves, well, guess what? They're the ones that can post P&L shots and are profitable. So yeah, shout out to Lee, and I appreciate that. And I do think exactly, you know, listen to what listen to what he's saying, because well, he's been around for the years, right? You must have been in the group, well, like he says, for 5 years. So he's been around for a long time. In for it all, my friend. I'll take this question. If a beginner, would you recommend me to trade crypto or stocks, or what asset? I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be slightly biased on this, but my personal opinion would be crypto. Maybe I'm slightly biased, right? But I have traded all of it. But I would say crypto for me is still the best thing to trade. I know not everyone's going to agree with me, right? But I have a love for crypto. Like I love crypto. I think it's super easy to trade. And I would personally recommend crypto. I love crypto. But if you want to trade futures, ES, NQ, hey, absolutely go ahead and do it. You have Igor and Severin who are trading this every day as coaches. So yeah, I would personally say, I would honestly say cryptocurrency, but that's just because I personally love it so much. But if you want to start on stocks, of course, one good, you could say good thing about the stock market is you do have access to prop firms. So this is just putting it out there. If you do like prop firms, I know the other Chart Champions coaches like Top Step. Okay, so mainly the other coaches, because I'm not a prop firm trader, but Top Step is like a nice entry option, I would say. So the way prop firms work, if you don't know, is you can actually sign up, let's say for 49 euros, you get access to trade $50,000. So essentially you're trading money that's not yours, let's say. So this is a kind of a nice entry if you don't have a lot of money. I would say this is what it's more aimed towards. Would I ever use prop firms? No, I don't have a need for this. But if you don't have a lot of money, or you are very aggressive on accounts, prop firms is a nice option for a lot of people. And so if you are starting in the stock market, prop firms are a nice option. Okay. So yeah, we personally work and partner with TopStep. I know some other big ones like FTMO, right? That's a big one. Apex is another big one. But all I hear are like people complaining about Apex and like it's a massive scam. So yeah, I think Apex is, we just partnered with somebody that actually is decent. We could have partnered with anyone we wanted in the world, right? And TopStep was the one that had the most integrity and didn't seem like a massive scam firm. Whereas, you look at Apex, it does look ultra scammy, the lag. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for me, if you're interested in prop firms, TopStep is like a nice option. But I personally would go down the crypto route. But yeah, you don't really have crypto prop firms, right? Or there are starting to be some, but yeah, there's no real big crypto prop firm right now. If you're interested in props, then yeah, naturally you would go down the futures route into stocks. So smash the likes, yes, smash those likes. Let's go. I'll take a few more questions, and then it is a Friday evening. I do actually want to watch the Netherlands versus France game. That has kicked off. It is 0-0 right now. Just wanted to keep this one short and sweet, really. Just come on stream, give you a quick update, take a few questions, give you a few answers. And yeah, that was kind of my aim for this. Just nice, quick and short. Can you give advice on how bigger a stop loss should be with an example? So yes, I can give you a few different examples. I'll start with Bitcoin, right? So obviously this trade we're in is a lower term time frame trade. Okay. And the stop loss should always be at invalidation. So what a lot of newer traders will make the mistake of doing is they'll just be like, okay, my risk is, I just want a 2-to-1 risk to reward, let's say. So if they're looking for let's just make things easier, a 5% gain, they're like, okay, my stop loss is going to be 2.5%. Right? Because they're just like, okay, I want to have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. This is the complete wrong way of working out stop losses. You cannot ever do standard 2-to-1 every trade or some kind of arbitrary way of using stop. Hey, every stop loss I'm going to be is $1,000 stop loss. This is also the complete wrong way to use stop losses. The only way, the right way of using stop loss should be invalidation. So if I have longed the around the lows here, my stop loss has to be where I'm wrong, which at the moment is simply below this trade, below this low, right? I am interested, by the way, in a swing failure pattern long, which means coming down here, taking out that low, getting in. That would mean I would get stopped out this trade. But if we see an SFB, I could get a new trade entry. That would be a new trade setup. Okay. So for me, yeah, stop loss always has to be placed at invalidation. Okay, so where your invalidation is, where you're wrong on your trade idea is where you place your stop loss. That could be 1% away, that could be 5% away. It's where you're wrong on your trading idea. Okay, so I am not against having large stop losses, like 5% stop loss. Of course, my position size would be adjusted. I'm not going to use the same position size on a trade where I've got a 0.5% stop loss versus a 5% stop loss. So I would adjust position sizing, but I wouldn't change the invalidation. The invalidation is where I'm wrong on the trade. So that's not an arbitrary amount. It is where you are wrong on the trade. Apparently you can trade Bitcoin on TopStep. Actually, you can because Igor trades Bitcoin on TopStep, right? Well, there you go. I forgot about that, to be honest, because, well, I don't trade there. Again, I don't really trade on prop firms, period. But I did actually forget about that. You can trade Bitcoin futures on Top Step now. So that is pretty cool. Maybe at some point I have to give it a go. Because yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Igor is also now trading it there as well, right? So yeah, that is a cool option, to be fair, for those. Some people here are saying crypto is the hardest thing to trade. Stocks and indexes are the new meme coins, easiest thing to trade. Yeah, maybe this is the new meta. This is where you have to be anchoring towards. So if you don't know, by the way, this is what like Igor and Severin are trading a lot. The ES and the NQ. Is this the new meta? Are these the new meme coins? I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna be moving away from Bitcoin. I love it. I just love it a lot. I don't know. I just love it a lot. But I do understand why people want to trade ES and NQ, especially with regulations, right? If you're a USA trader, well, guess you're probably going to be moving towards futures, right? Because it's super hard to trade crypto. So if you're like forced out of being able to trade crypto, well, of course, then I understand why you'd go down the futures route. But in my opinion, if you have access to trade crypto, I wouldn't be going down the futures route because I'm like, well, I love crypto. Why would I do that? But anyway, long story short, yeah. You're missing a great game. I do honestly want to go and check out this game. It is France versus Netherlands. It is the Euros. This was a quick Friday stream. Yeah, the trade that I'm in, of course, is just a day trade. It's nothing major. Overall, I will end with a bit of a higher term time perspective. I would like to see this low taken one more time. So I honestly would like this to come down, take out this low again before a rally. Why? I personally would still like to see these longs taken out. I would like to see the anchored VWAP that we ever so slightly front run tapped as well. Okay, this ever so slightly front run with the anchored VWAP by $100. So it would be nice to see this come down one more time. In terms of what I would like to see in terms of my first take profit before that, I would still like to see the daily high. If we can reclaim daily high, then I do think we can rally back up to 67K. But yeah, daily high, of course, very important. And then we got all of this type of range to get involved with, say $65,000. So a few levels of interest for me would be the daily high, moving on to $65,000. And of course, the biggest one, 67,500. Rally up to this, then down would of course be lovely. Last few things before we go. If you want to take advantage of Top Step, by the way, or all the other deals that we have, of course, you can get that via the website. That's where you got the Bybit deals, the VPN deals. This is Quant Tower. Yeah, Top Step. So Top Step, we got a 70% discount right now. So for the people asking, are they allowed new trading on Top Step? Yes, I have never heard of anything that they wouldn't. So yeah, are they allowed allows new? Yeah, I think that means are they allowing new traders on Top Step? And yes. There's no reason why you couldn't sign up for sure. But again, my go-to is always and still is Bybit. But yeah, no, I'm going to wrap it up here. Just hope you have enjoyed this stream. We will see if this can come up and hit my take profit 1, which will be the daily high. Okay, and then from there, I'll look to see, well, if we get a bearish reaction, I will look to take a scalp short trade. If we do not, and we get bullish continuation, $65,000 next target would be for me on this long. So yeah, I'm basically aiming for a few $1,000s profit. So we'll see if that happens. If not, hey, I hit my stop loss and I lose $500. It is what it is, right? Hope you've enjoyed this stream. Thank you ever so much. And yeah, it was nice hanging out with you this Friday evening. If you want to see more from myself and the team, you know you can get it every day of the week via chartchampions.com. Even this weekend. This weekend, I will also be doing live streams. So if you are wanting lots of streams, live trading streams, okay, if you want the educational library, if you want everything basically in a one-stop shop, chartchampions.com. Thank you ever so much. I truly hope you've enjoyed this one, and I wish you a wonderful weekend. Thank you, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed me signing out. Goodbye. Cheers.